Yo, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good night, good afternoon. Whoever's watching this, at whatever time you're watching it. So I was literally about to get into weekly markup, but I remember that I kind of wanted to go over the trades that I took yesterday. One, because I started a $40 challenge. Remember the $40 check that I got? So I threw that into the account, and we're already in drawdown on the account. Look at this. First and foremost, it didn't even give me the full $40. By the time it hit the account, it was only 36, right? But I will still bring this account back. And if I don't bring it back, then guess what? My hair is gone again. And I do not want to freaking shave my head again. So I will bring this account back. And we're already slowly bringing it back. And actually, this loss right here, this GJ full stop loss hit, we're going to go over it right now. Because that was the first trade of yesterday. As you can see, we're in drawdown for the month after being fully profitable all year, well, except March, but all of these months made up for that month. So in October, we're in drawdown. As you can see, we started off, and this was all London session too, these trades, but we're going over the trades from yesterday. So the first trade was these GA sales, which was over here. As you can see, it was these. This was around right before New York session. This was still London session. And I was like, wait, price is bearish. Look at this. Failed to break highs here, lower high below here. And I realized that I had missed already the entry. The correct entry for these shorts would have been here. And I would have already secured 30 pips. I would have secured somewhere at 20 pips and let the rest run risk free. And the thing is, price actually did give me 20 pips. As you can see, it actually gave me 18 pips, and I did not secure. And if we go into the 3 minute, you can see on the 3 minute, this is a really strong demand, or a really strong impulse within the range, right? So we have this low right here, and then we have this push that gives us this insane push to the upside. This, what is that? A strong area of demand. Price comes back, tests it, and I literally failed to see that. I mean, I had multiple chances of getting out of this trade. Look, price melted. I could have literally gotten out of my sales. Notice this higher low, set my stop loss below here, and got it in buys. And I would have made profit on the sales, got it in the buys, and then look, price came back to this previous strong supply, tested it over here, which was my stop loss. Also, that was also something that I did wrong, was because I was watching this trade live. I literally watched the hit TP my stop loss live. Hit my stop loss. If I could have just made my stop loss a little bit bigger, but I didn't. Stop loss hit, and guess what? I still went in on another trade. And if I wouldn't have gotten in another sell, I would have been so mad. But that was the last trade that I took, the GA re-entry, the sell. But I mean, this loss could have been totally avoided. And these over here, well, these were actually real losses. But I was wrong about the trade, but I was right about the bias. And things like this will always happen, man. Things like this will always happen, and this is literally how you manage yourself and how you manage emotions. Trading is literally a test of your emotions. And well, the second trade, well, this wasn't really the second trade. The second trade was USDCAD, which was this one. I took shorts below the supply and demand zone area. As you can see, previous area of supply, demand, supply below. Price had tested it. That's where I got it in. I got in right here. Price did go into profit a little bit. Well, actually, no. I did not. I got in here. Yeah, price had already created this support right here, and then we created this higher low. And when I noticed this higher low, I got out actually at 6 pips, I believe. USDCAD, I got out at 6 pips. Yep, 6 pips, which was good because price was going for full stop loss, and then it reversed. So same thing over here, similar to GJ, but then the bias was correct, but the trade was wrong. and then well, actually we had a nice little trade here. And the only reason I wanted to go over these trades was because I was about to delete all of this data, and I wanted to go over it before. So this is gonna be right before the weekly markup, which is still the weekly markup. And then, I mean, the same bias remains. I still see this low getting smacked, right? Now let's go back into GJ, and well, the last trade we kind of already went over it, but I literally went back into the shorts because I was like, wait, this is as well a really strong, the same thing that happened here with the really strong demand happened over here with the really strong supply. The market is a fractal. Look at this. We had an impulse within the range for the buyers, and then we had an impulse within the range for the sellers. Price tested it and we had a reaction. Price tested it and we had a reaction. You see that? Shout out Holt Vision, because he's the one that taught me that the impulse within the range stinks, and it's literally just a test of a strong area of supply and demand that has not been tested. This area had not been tested, as you can see. Price came back and tested it, we had an instant reaction. This area had not been tested, as you can see. Price came back and tested, we had the instant reaction. This was a total bad entry. I mean, even then it was a bad entry, and it was a bad trade management because it did give me 18 pips. And as well, I did not make my stop loss a little bit bigger because I was watching this live, and I watched my stop loss get hit fully, right? And then I got back into the shorts, and I should have literally lighted the fuck up here. I should have gotten like double the size, and I would have made it back. But you know what? The trading is what's important. It's not about the money, it's the skill, right? The money will come eventually. Millions and millions, billions will come eventually, right? Trading funds are literally trading trillions. Billions is nothing to in the foreign exchange market. Millions is literally chump change, right? So the skill is very, very important, and literally this is teaching us right now. So now what are we gonna do? We're gonna remove all of the drawings for every GBPUSD, GJ, all of my pairs, UJ, USDCAD, and then NZDCAD. So now let me get to work. I'll be back. Well, for you it's gonna be an instant, but for me it's gonna be a while. Yo, hello ladies and gentlemen. It was literally the same video for you, but for me it's a different day. So this video I was supposed to do it yesterday, but as soon as I did finish my weekly markup at work, my weekly markups, as you can see, and then I sent them over to me to my personal computer. But I couldn't record at work because my coworkers pulled up at around the time that I had finished everything. So I was like, you know what, I'll just record at home. And so here we are, but it's still the same video, right? So now let's get into the weekly markup. Literally, like I said, for me it's gonna be longer, but for you it's literally 1 second. USDJPY, monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, H4, H1 bullish. Let's get into UJ. Obviously, first and foremost, you want to start from your monthly. On the monthly, obviously, we can see price failed to break below 140, and then we broke back above, tested 140 again. We broke back above it, and then we created a monthly bullish engulfing candle. Monthly bullish engulfing candle, bullish. It's supposed to be bullish. And price also broke above 151. The market still has not opened yet. And the weekly were bullish as well. Actually, we broke above 190. No, it's not 189. I was mistaken it with GJ. 151, which was a previous strong area of supply, broke above it, and now we're above it as well. I'm looking for the weekly candle to close above here for price to continue all the way to 160. You see it on the daily bullish, H4 daily bullish engulfing candle, and we're on the way to test this area of supply. Maybe here we could have another potential trade, or we could have a possible retracement back to the downside. So maybe something like this. Price breaks above, tests and continues bullish, or price tests and continue bearish all the way to 151, possibly. But I still see a price continuing bullish. I would not see sales till we're below 151. Now let's get into GJ. You could pause and read it. Monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, H41 bullish turning bearish. GJ. We want to start from the monthly. Because in the monthly we're overall bullish. We're above this strong area of supply, which is 195. Monthly bullish engulfing candle above it, and then we broke over this area of supply and demand. More and more supply turned into new demand, which was 199 here. As you can see, price finally broke above it, consolidated a little bit above it, and then now we're on the way to 208. On the daily, on the H4, I'm looking at the same thing. Either price is gonna break above here, and we're gonna buy it all the way up to here. This will be the first target, maybe 160 pips, or we could break below this supply and demand zone. We could have some potential shorts to here, or all the way to 199 to clear this gap that still has not yet been cleared, which is what those sales that I had took, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to sell all the way to 199, which could potentially still happen. Below here, we could get a nice little re-entry. So that's why on the 4 hours turning bearish, plus strong bearish engulfing candle. Right, we would need another bearish engulfing candle below here and a lower high though. So now let's go into NZDCAD. We could pause it and read it. Monthly bearish, weekly bearish, daily bearish, H4, H1 bearish, fully bearish. NZDCAD. Start from the monthly. Monthly, even little could tell you that we're bearish, right? This was one price has tested this strong area of demand, which was 0.77. You can see we did have a reaction to the upside, but it wasn't as strong. Price failed to break above 0.86, and then melted back above, and then failed to break above 0.86 again, and then now we're failed to break above 0.83. So we've been creating lower highs. What happened to the weekly? I guess on the weekly we have a nice little support here, or area of demand, which is at 0.80. So this potentially this one could hold, but as well this area of supply has been holding, which is 0.83. Then we hop into the daily. We can see on the daily we're overall bearish engulfing candles, lower highs, bearish engulfing candle, lower highs, and I do see price breaking below 0.80 and targeting this low right here. So something like this, higher time frame wise, maybe this week, maybe next week, and that actually would be a 140 pip drop to the downside. And on the 4 hour, you can see on the 4 hour we were respecting the support, and we did buy, but now we respect this area of supply, and we instantly reacted to it, and now we're melting back to the downside. We hop into the 1 hour. On the 1 hour we already had a strong bearish engulfing candle and lower highs. So on the 1 hour this looks like it's on the way back to 0.80 minimum, at least the support, but I do see it all the way to 0.80. Potentially in the 0.80 we could have a potential trade. Maybe the shorts below, or potentially price could literally just come clear and stop out everyone and continue back to the upside. We would have to wait, but for now, shorts. Now let's go into USDCAD. USDCAD, you can pause it and read it. Monthly bearish turning bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish turning bearish, H4, H1 bearish. USDCAD. I'll start from the monthly. Top down analysis. You can see we were actually bearish. We were bearish here. And price currently respected this bullish trend, and we broke back above 139. Right, we were bearish because price had failed to break above 147 and failed to break above 144. And we had a monthly bearish engulfing candle below 139. But guess what? This bullish trend got respected. We have a bullish engulfing. Well, actually, I wouldn't call that a bullish engulfing candle, but we might have a bullish engulfing candle with this month's close, the end of October. Potentially buys all the way to 144 and 147. right? Because that would be the first target. Now let's hop into the weekly. The weekly, we already have a bullish engulfing candle above it, and we already have higher lows above it as well. And on the daily, we were actually, I believe, turning bearish. Bullish turning bearish, and the H41 bearish. Obviously, price failed to break above here, which is 140,500, 140,600. And then we're currently creating lower highs, and then we hop to a 4 hour. You can already see we're kind of already flipping bearish. Actually, I would still want to see sells below here though. Price break below this zone, create a lower high. Something like this would be actually a really good trade. How many pips would that be? That'd be a good nice little 60 pip trade, right? And I would not buy till price maybe breaks above here, but we could also get into another entry here at 139. If price does continue to the south to 139, we could either get potential buys or we could get potential continuation sells, depending on what price reacts, how price reacts to 139, which we know damn right that 139 is a strong zone. Now, last but not least, let's go into GBPUSD. Go pause it and read it. Monthly bearish, weekly bearish, daily bearish, H41 bearish. Now let's get into the GBPUSD. Fly me to the moon. That song right here kind of reminds me of Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. Alright, but we were bullish on the GBPUSD. We're on the monthly. And price tested 137,500, and we broke back below 134, which happens to be a strong area of supply. And you can see price broke above here, created new demand above where we previously had supply, and now this could possibly be turned into new supply again. You can see price even tried to come back above 137,500 and failed to break above it twice. Up into the weekly, you can see it better right here. Failed to break above 137,500. We came back all the way to 137,500 and we failed to break above it again. And then we broke back below 134. Then on the daily, we already have a bearish respective trend, which I believe I had rolling down. Bearish trend respected, and daily bearish engulfing candle below 134. So this could actually be a weak support or weak double bottom, right? Because it did not show any strength here. If price was really bullish, it should have continued bullish here, continuing here. But what did it do? It created a lower high and created a daily bearish engulfing candle. So at this point in time, you could have even gotten in shorts. You would have already been in profit. And the main target for me, I would target all of this, obviously, but you would have to have like a TP1, which for me, it would be here. TP1, something like this, 600 pips, risking 136 pips, right? And you would have already been up 50 pips in this trade. But I missed it. But that's not to say that the sells are still not going to happen and we could not still get in a position. Maybe something below here or even something below here, which this is also as well a little stronger area of supply and demand. So this could be ran through quick. This zone right here, this could be run through quick, and then we could come back all the way to test here. And then here, this will be actually one of the main targets. For example, if you would have sold here, this would have been your TP1, and then here you could have either secured more or no, you secured here at your TP1 and then you let the rest run risk free. If price continues to drop, you'll secure more here, or if it does something like this, then it might give you a re-entry, or if it actually could do something like this as well, right? That's all it could do. You could either only buy or sell. You just have to wait. The main thing in trading is literally waiting. Patience. But I believe that's it. Now on the 4 hour, we're bearish as well. You can see strong bearish. We're definitely touching this. We're definitely melting to here, to 131,500 for sure. And that is still about 150 pips away, right? And then at 131,500 we could potentially have a trade, either the reaction in the buys or the break below in the sells. Let's get it. Peace and love to anybody watching this. I commend your health, wealth, knowledge, wisdom for you and your entire family. Back to work.